Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgmo. Mike Manyan is linked to Chelsea. Chelsea are now moving mad in this transfer market. They are still linked with Gyokeres, of course, and Gyokeres is still linked to Arsenal, of course, and we all know that. There is Man City that are absolutely moving crazy in this transfer market. I don't know why Staffy is like laptop is lagging or something like this. Now listen. We're going to talk about Liverpool with Wirtz. Rax is going to be here. Wirtz is closing on to Liverpool, of course. Wirtz cooking stupid journalist course. I don't know what you're talking about, to be honest. Fonzie, hit the like button, people, if you are here. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's my first stream of the day. I've had a very long day. It's 10 p.m. here in Cairo. Big up Couch for joining us. Ripping Chelsea, of course. Big up Patrick for joining us. I hope everything is good. Staff is going to be here. Rax is going to be here. Ashraf is renewing. And Simone Inzaghi has just left to go to Saudi Arabia, which is I'm fine. And Inter owners might be cheaters. Actually, they might be cheaters. That is another report that I need to read about it more, to be honest with you. We are linked to Cesc Fabregas and De Zerbi. I'll be happy with both. Guys, let's get the likes to 100. It's over 300 people in the house. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, man, can't complain, man. Everything's good. You know, Chelsea's moving the right way in the business aspect of the thing, moving quick, which is what is needed when the Club World Cup's like, what 8, 9, 10 days away. So very impressed with the movements we're making so far.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm a bit surprised by some of the moves that Man City are making, but the chairman did say that he wants the new players to be at the Club World Cup. So I'm pretty sure that by the time the Club World Cup is here, you have to register the players by the 10th of June, I think so. So I'm pretty sure we'll have all the rumored transfers closed. I see Rangers is getting closer and more advanced than before. I think they said the terms have been agreed.
When you move away from your mic, I can't hear you. Is it only me?
Wait, can you hear me now? Or you can't hear me?
But when you move away, we can't hear anything.
Or maybe it must be that I don't know. You never know. But then I'm just saying, I'm just happy that most of these transfers are going very fast, and I'm surprised with the 4 backs because I thought Pep Guardiola was going to stick to 4 centre backs. So I big up to him for looking at 4 backs. So we're eating good at City. We're not complaining. Edison and Ortega are staying. They're not going anywhere, as Pep has confirmed. So the keepers are staying. So nothing bad at City. We're just waiting for the outgoings. But thank you for inviting me here.
Ashraf, how are you, Staffy? Everything all right, bro?
Everything is great. Why?
Yeah, no, nothing. Just my StreamYard's just moving mad for me, to be honest. I can't move people around anyway. StreamYard has been moving crazy actually today. Staffy, you're moving great in the market. We'll talk about that. Ashraf, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, man. I'm alive. Alhamdulillah, all good.
Nothing bad. Nothing bad. Alhamdulillah for everyone. Hit that like button, people. Fonzie here is saying, Wirtz cooking, stupid journalist, quotes, you never walk alone. I don't know what quotes are you talking about, Fonzie, to be honest. I don't know what you're talking about. Wirtz Instagram story. All right. Okay, I don't know. I didn't watch Wirtz Instagram story. Do you think I follow Wirtz on Instagram? Oh, yeah. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Anyway, I want to start with with actually just a question. We can talk about all the transfers. Why are Man United moving quick, Man City moving quick, Chelsea moving quick, Liverpool moving quick, and Arsenal are slow? Why is that? Igal asked, you know what? I did with this yesterday. I did a show with Igal, and he literally just asked me this.
It's been 2 days. I don't know why people acting crazy. Like we've been. It depends on what you call moving slow, because United didn't sign anyone yet. City didn't sign anyone yet.
Man United signed someone yet. They did. Man United signed Cunha.
Cunha is done.
Cunha is done.
I didn't know. I didn't know they announced it, but
Chelsea signed Delap already.
Yeah, I understand, but we have 3 signings that we're making, or at least 3 signings we're trying to make. I don't think these are signings you would just announce quickly. They're all big signings, or at least 2 of them are supposed to be big signings. I don't know who the third one will be. Zubimendi. Okay. So why are people acting?
Yeah, no, it's not, because you told us we heard this a long time ago. So maybe people are expecting Zubimendi to come through as the first one.
I understand, but even if it comes through now,
I wanted to, but I want to start with Man United. I said something outrageous. I think I recorded the video, but before we do that, Redline Taranga saying Mo Fonzie is referring to Wirtz Instagram story. Yeah, some journalist said something about Wirtz needing a number 10, and he said like, no, I'm not gonna go to try to strip someone of a number 10, which is McAllister as a 10. So big up, like I know, like he cooked him. Tariq, big up Tariq for becoming a new member. What should Man United aspire to do next season, guys? If they sign Mbuemo, Cunha, they keep Bruno, they sign a striker, like what should the aspirations be?
Top 8, I'd say, at least.
8?
Well, I'm not going to say top 4. Yeah.
I think they should challenge for top 5.
That's mad. That's mad. They're 15.
Yes,
they're 15.
It doesn't matter where you finish.
They lost 19, 18
games. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Chelsea, it does matter. They're stripping the whole club upside down.
Okay, Chelsea finished 10th. I know that the players are not the same. Chelsea had Fabregas. Yeah, no. Chelsea had Fabregas. Chelsea had they got Kante. The time that he like Antonio Conte joined and everything.
Yeah.
By the way, my StreamYard is moving crazy, and I might need to leave and come back. But anyway, because I'm trying to add back.
We can hear you fine. Yeah, we can hear you.
I know, but I can't change the overlays for some whatever reason.
Oh, fair.
But anyway, I'm gonna add you, Rak. I know you're in the show. People can hear you, but I can't. That's everything in.
I'm here. They can see me too. I'm here, Mo.
Yeah, we can see him clearly. Yeah.
Okay,
so it's only you, right?
Mo's the only person who can't see me.
Moving mad. All right. Okay. My screen is moving crazy. By the way, it's just me. Like I believe it doesn't matter where you finish the season before if you get the right player. Also, Man United at the current moment. I'm gonna tell you. Man United at the current moment they have. Okay, this is.
Did we lose him?
What the hell?
Okay, he's just gone.
Mo, you've disappeared.
I'll tell you what he was gonna say. Okay. I'll say what he's gonna say. There he is again.
Yeah. We can hear you now.
All right. Okay. For some whatever fucking reason, my StreamYard was really moving crazy, guys. I'm being. It like okay, it's moving crazy again. Go ahead.
No, we can hear you.
I know, and I can.
No,
hear
Mo, you were saying stuff like, okay, Chelsea finished 10th, and then the next season they won the league. That's a weird logic because it's a false equivalency. Because the season before that they won the league. Everyone knew Chelsea's 10th was not a proper fault. It's a proper false position. They fell off with Mourinho. They had a lot of fights. He lost the dressing room. That wasn't the same thing. I agree. United's position of 15th is not who they really are, but I don't think they're a top 8 team like with the current squad and and all the stuff that's going on. So I think if you
Well,
go
it's
so
from
the
15,
squad we're talking about,
happened?
though, right? We're
Is
talking about
Staffy leave or only me?
I don't know. Stuff is gone, but I don't know why he's
Okay,
gone.
so it's not only me, right? Okay.
Yeah.
De Ligt is good. Euro's good. Bruno Fernandes is good.
Euro's good. What makes Euro good? Why?
I'm not saying that Euro is a challenge for the league, but at least top six.
Player number 2.
Okay, but at least top six. They're not
No,
telling
why?
you
Wait, why top 6? I can name many centre backs in the league in the top 6 teams that are better than him. Why top 6? Just because he plays for United.
I can name a lot, and I can name a lot of players in the top 6 that maybe Lini Euro is better than them.
The top 6 clubs, name them. So the teams that finished.
No.
Yeah.
Fair.
The teams that finished top 6 last season or this season, name the centre backs that Euro is better than.
Do you think Dan Burn is better than Lini Euro?
No, he's talking about top 6.
Yeah, no,
Oh yeah, Dan Burn.
literally.
But wait. The starting
You're
centre backs for
actually-
Newcastle
okay, hold
isn't
on.
Dan Burn
It's literally Dan Burn and
because of the injury to Shaw and Botman. But when they're all available, Botman and Shaw are the starting centre backs. You can ask Newcastle.
Okay,
fans.
so hear me out about this, okay? You're telling me that in a back 3, Lini Euro and De Ligt are not good enough to be a... Oh, I'm not saying to challenge for top 6, to challenge for Europa League or... No? You don't think so?
No.
You don't think...
Challenge for
you
top
don't
6
think-
is different.
you don't
said
think
challenge
that-
for top 5. Why are you changing it?
you're-
You said
ironically,
challenge.
No, I said top 5, top 6. I didn't change it. I said in the beginning, I said top 5, top 6. I said Europa League, not Conference League, Europa League or Champions League spots.
I would question De Ligt more than I would question Euro. I think
Same.
Euro is actually, for a young player, I think he's done very well. De Ligt, on the other hand, I think he's more questionable, personally.
Really? I thought De Ligt was good for Man United. I thought De Ligt
Yeah,
was
it's
good.
so,
We're
but I
talking
don't know
about
if
Man
he's the
United.
guy
Are you
that
going to
you
get
can,
involved with us?
I don't think that you can build a solid foundation.
I think
for
something is wrong with
League.
Staffy's like Mike.
Yeah, Staffy's thing is not working. He just spoke, but we couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's off.
Yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Staffy.
This stream is all over the place.
I had a mic issue. I had a mic issue before joining. I had to restart and I had to connect my mic from the settings. I don't know if it's the same problem or not.
Wait, can you see him though?
I can see him.
You cannot?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
I
see
can-
him.
yeah.
I can't see him.
Yeah.
I can't see him.
Oh,
The
the
stream
night
guy is
show.
mad. I can see him
Are you-
clearly.
Nah, you guys are mad. No, you're not. You don't see him. You're lying. Nah,
Wallahi, I can
We do
see him,
see him,
Patrick. I
top
swear
right.
to God.
Staffy,
I-
change the mic.
Staffy's right there. We can see him. He's nodding his head right now.
Yeah, there.
He
He just
lifted
nodded his
finger
head
up.
and he did a finger. Yeah, exactly.
Wait. Isn't
Bro,
it funny? Isn't it funny that maybe because more you put me
No,
up here,
no,
when you were
Staffy.
up here, you couldn't see Staffy.
No.
Bro, this is crazy. This is crazy. Actually, it's
Technical,
crazy.
technical difficulties.
This is like the most glitching stream I've ever done. We can't hear you, wallah. Like, what the fuck, bro?
I think you'll need to connect another mic, maybe.
Just connect the mic directly instead of connecting the OBS mic.
Yeah, OBS
So-
I've noticed. Yeah.
He's gonna
Okay.
be-
I've noticed OBS gives a lot of issues in the last 2-3 days.
Oh my god, I can see Staffy on YouTube. Wow. Okay.
We told you he was
Okay.
there, Patrick. You
I
don't
thought
believe
you were
us.
messing. I thought you were
No.
messing about.
Why would we joke with you on that, bro? Clearly he can hear us. He can hear us clearly. He just can't.
Patrick, we would never
we
think
can't
you
hear
dirty
him.
like that, Patrick.
Guys, when I'm telling
might.
you, I'm gonna show you something, guys. See the overlay sometimes did it change for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah.
change for me.
Now
It
it's
didn't
all-
change for me during that
now
time.
it's-
It didn't
Now
change
now
for
it's
me.
back to 6. Now it's back
So
to 6.
that-
during that time it didn't change for me.
Oh,
It
okay.
was the same layout.
It's busy
Anyway,
time to be streaming.
Can we go back?
StreamYard.
Can we go back to the show? Inzaghi got into hiding with help from the rich family after a massive, oh my God, so a massive terrorist mission, a major European city, familiar story from early 2000s.
Rough.
Bro, Alhambra, you can't say this shit, bro, on YouTube, broski. You can't say this stuff.
He's
Alhambra.
ruined his name for life, bro. He's ruined his
Bro,
name. for
Alhambra,
life.
you cannot do these things online. You cannot say these things online.
Are we
Okay,
going to talk
Ken.
about Intermo? Are we going to talk about Inter?
You want to talk about Inter? Go ahead.
no.
Anyone see Wirtz Insta story post about number 10 shirt? Yes,
No,
yes, Omar.
no.
We just saw that. I just saw it. I actually just saw it. What do you
Well,
want to
I
say
just want-
about Inter? Do you want to say about
Well,
something about Inter? Go
I
ahead.
just want to say because I haven't spoken to any of my Italian friends about it, so I don't really know what's going on. But what's the reaction been in Milan to this whole situation with?
You know,
Juve. I'm sure all the rivals obviously are going to be taking.
yeah. Everyone is happy.
I remember when we beat Milan in the Champions League final. The Inter fans built a website called 25 Maggio, which basically means 25th of May. 2005. It was the day we beat them. They had a whole website of Milan fans celebrating and all this kind of stuff. So these things happen. But what's the reaction been like from Inter fans?
To be honest with you, Inter fans are not caring about what anyone else say. The magnitude of the disaster is big enough for Inter fans not to care about the banter that is coming through from other fans at all. Like when I speak to people, they are thinking about. This is a big club, a historical club that has been destroyed by one set of players and a manager in a Champions League final. And that is what happened. The problem is there is disbelief that this Inter team actually went to try to play. There are people that spoke about some of the players being defeated before the game starts and not even wanting to play, and a massive break in the dressing room knowing that Inzaghi will leave. There are other rumors about the players actually just giving up on the game before the game even starts. There are some people in the stadium that said that we saw the players defeated in minute 1 and we knew that. Yes. And the players did not even try to play. The people that went to the stadium said that on Twitter. We don't know what happened. I'm leaning towards these players. Something has happened. Something odd has happened that made them change from the team that were fighting against Bayern and Barcelona to a team that completely surrendered from minute 1, not even trying to play. The manager didn't even try to make the same subs. Like, he didn't even, for example, I'm just going to give you an example some people just brought up. He didn't even try to bring Fratesi, who scored against Barcelona and Bayern Munich. That is so odd. At 2-0, that is so odd. They said that at halftime, in way lesser games, he changed DeMarco at 45 minutes and brought on Carlos Augusto because DeMarco's not playing even when we were winning in some games in the league. He walked out of the tunnel with the same team as he wanted to lose. Like, he didn't care about recovering in the second half. Yes, he started the second half trying to score and everything, but he didn't make he didn't make the right subs at halftime. Like, he didn't even try. He didn't even brought a forward to play. He brought his 5 subs were 5 defenders.
Do you think they were just overwhelmed by PSG? Do you think they were just overwhelmed by how good PSG was?
But PSG played against Aston Villa, and Aston Villa gave them a game. Arsenal gave them a game. And Aston Villa players are not. We have watched this Inter team play against Yamal and play against Bayern Munich and play against even Arsenal when you played with your team in the first game. Our Inter are not equivalent to PSG, correct? They're not equivalent to PSG. But they are not 5-0 down. It could have been 10-0. Like, if you ask me as a fan, forget that I'm an Inter fan. The fair result of this game is about 8-0. To be honest with you, the fair result of this game is 8-0. Like, PSG were robbed of a historic final that will never be even being close to repeat again. And I think that PSG took their foot off the gas a little bit at the end when the players trying to dribble inside the 18. Like, Barcola could have taken a shot instead of trying to do a 5-a-side move on a Cherki, and he missed. Like, Kvaratskhelia was trying to score on his own because he knew the game was over. You get my point? Like, if PSG played with the same intensity they played for the 90 minutes, this game could have ended 8 or 10-0. I actually think there's something way deeper in this game that happened. I don't know what it is.
I don't think it's a conspiracy. I don't think it's a conspiracy.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's more they were shell-shocked, and then at some point, your head goes down. Like, a lot of Liverpool fans were saying, I don't want to make it about Liverpool, but they said that this is what could have happened in 2005 to Liverpool if we didn't get the first goal back, because we were shell-shocked. We've been in that position. You try. You come in at half-time, you're 2-0 down, 3-0 down, and you've barely laid a glove on. In our time, Milan, somehow, we managed to get back in it, but it could very easily have gone the other way, and Liverpool could have been looking at a 4-0.
Even in your
5-0
first half,
more.
you were fighting. Okay, what I saw from the Inter players are players that are not even
really.
trying.
They
They're not even trying.
Milan were on a different level that night. Even we were the better team for about 10 minutes in that whole time.
Yeah, we
The
were
rest of the
the
time,
better team
before
for
and
about
after, they
0
were much
minutes.
better.
And like,
Yeah,
we
right,
were
but you
the
got
better team
outclassed.
about 0 minutes.
You got outclassed, and that Milan team. Listen, everyone knows that Milan team was miles better than yours.
Wow.
I don't think we can look at this PSG team and say they're miles better than Inter. I mean, when you see the game, yeah, they were. Before the game, I don't think anyone predicted that. I think most of us, probably except for Mo, who wanted his team to win, we said, yeah, PSG 2-1, 2-0, 5-0 in the manner that they did. And when Mo says it could have been more, I honestly, I don't, and I've watched a lot of embarrassing football over the last few years watching my team. This was generally such an embarrassment where I'm like, where's the experience? You know, when we always talk about experience that leads to games, leads to finals, I saw no samples of experience. I saw no fight, like Mo said. Like, you can see when a team gets outclassed, but like, I feel bad for them. They're trying the best they can. They're just superior to them. I didn't even see that from Inter. The way they just were getting bopped off the pitch, as you said, as Mo said, Barcola was trying to do five-a-side fucking goals against them, trying to drop a Cherki, drop the goalkeeper.
Did you see at
it was
2-0, at 2-0, you cannot tell me that in a Champions League final at 2-0, the PSG players in their half are trying to play back heel passes. Like, okay, that is not normal. And Inter players are not even trying to get back at them. Like Vitinha and João Neves were trying to play back heel passes to each other, and the Inter players are looking around. I'm like, okay, you cannot tell me that Inter team is the same team that played against Barcelona.
Yeah,
they
but
play
more
against better players.
But Mo, you've played football. I don't know. There's moments where sometimes you just get outclassed. I think they just
but you
like
don't,
at that level though, like at that level,
you cannot be outclassed like
man.
this.
It's about pride at that point.
Show
it's
some
not
fight.
even about, like football.
I don't know.
It's just like show some pride.
But I've seen people get cooked before and they give up. I remember we cooked Chelsea. I know we beat them 1-0, but it was supposed to be like 7-0. But we cooked them so much at the point where Fabregas and the rest of the team just started walking. And when they interviewed after, they're like, there's nothing we could do. It's like people look at this as we were being lazy. I remember that game, they're like, we were being lazy. But Fabregas said, I think he used the F word. That's when he used the F word on Sky. He's like, it was fucking hard to get the ball off them. I don't know. I just feel like I get where you're coming from. I get where, obviously, as a fan, you get disappointed saying my team was not trying. But I just think this PSG team was just ready. Look at Dembele, the way he was pressing and the way they were just better than you. And sometimes, as a human being, you just give up. I know what you mean. Like, why would you just give up? It's too good. It was just too good. This is what
I think there are. I think there are moments sometimes that change a game, and it depends on how the other team reacts. Then I think the first goal, fair enough, it was very, very bad defending. You should have done better, but okay, that happens. They ended up scoring. When that second deflected goal went in, right? I think that's the moment where you're either going to see a shift in the game. The manager gets some urgency and says, okay, you know what? It's 2-0. We need to freaking do something. You guys remember that World Cup final, Argentina and France? They were 2-0 down. Deschamps makes 2 changes in the first half, and people are like, what the hell is he doing? When he took off Giroud, he took off, I think, Rabiot, if I'm not wrong. That game could have easily ended bad because for 70 minutes, it was only Argentina playing. And one moment, because Argentina didn't capitalize and score a third goal, one moment where they went through changed the game. Spain-Italy final in 2012 Euros, when they scored 2 goals, that red card deflated Italy, and Spain went on to score 2. I think for whatever reason...
We didn't get a red card.
Yeah, I agree, which is why I'm saying, for whatever reason, when you came into the second half at 2-0 down, in my opinion, he should have done some drastic changes that just lets Inter Milan go gung-ho at the start of the second half. Because if you don't score in the first 10-15 minutes of the second half, it's gone. Like, you're not going to come back in the last 10 minutes.
To be honest with you, and just the last thing, because I want to move on from this. I spoke about it for too many issues. I actually think it's either he conspired Inzaghi or he lost his brain and he wasn't thinking about the game at all, and he was thinking about the move to Saudi Arabia for the whole of the 90 minutes. He didn't make any...
No way.
Bro.
That is a
Let me
I don't think he
explain
got
to
the
you.
offer before. I don't think he got the offer before.
Oh, he did. Okay, it turned out that he was talking to the Saudis for 2 months.
Yeah, but that doesn't...
but you don't get to the stage where the
he
Champions
can
League
concentrate on a
final.
game for 90 minutes.
Switch off.
Okay, there are...
Exactly.
Okay, there
At
are...
that
For
point, you
me,
have to be
there
like, okay,
are...
I'm just going to see it out as best I can.
But there are signs...
Mo has lost his mind.
I did. I am trying to understand. I'm trying to understand how did he see DeMarco do this and he walked out of the second half with the same lineup. How didn't he see that it's not working, for example? But he did this in the league before, and he didn't make any changes. When you see normally, he makes changes. Normally, he makes changes. And sometimes he makes changes at half time. Okay, so why the bad management came at this game if you're focused? I don't believe, forget the conspiracy. I genuinely believe his head before the game was not focused about this game at all. He's in the sideline thinking about the offer and thinking about this is maybe the last game of me.
But can I just say this though, and you'd know better because you watch your team a lot more. If I look at the Barca games, the Bayern Munich games, I think the Feyenoord games as well. In all those games, you went ahead first. Whether you went ahead first by some lucky goal, whether you went ahead first because you just killed the other team, you went ahead first. You've not been in a position where you've conceded, you've had to now fight and come back. I know you came back against Barca when they went 3-2 up, fair enough.
Yeah,
but that's where you also were. Yeah, that
was
was different. With PSG, they shell-shocked you in the beginning. And now he had to do something he didn't do against the other teams. He had to come back instead of actually
maybe he doesn't know
and playing to his advantage.
Maybe he doesn't
And
know.
two
To
goals.
be honest
Two
with
goals.
you,
One goal is one thing.
And
right?
2 goals.
You've got 2 goals.
Yeah.
to be honest with you, like for me, every time there was pressure on him, and this game was different than City, by the way, because remember, against City, everyone thought that Inter had 0 chance. The majority, like there are a lot of pundits before the game that said PSG will win, but when they asked Jens Lehmann and other people, they said it would be a close to 1 to either team. Against Man City, no one gave us a chance. I believe that he bottled this game and he couldn't think about it because he expected PSG to be worse than what they are. The PSG were phenomenal, just don't get me wrong. I think he froze. By the way, he bottled 2 league titles before. One this season when he was gifted the league. One 2 years ago when he was playing against a shitty Milan team and he actually bottled the league. Not because of the quality, by the way. He has a massive problem, which is what I'm fearing now if he gets another European job, in preparing players for tough moments, in getting the players off the bench for tough moments. When, as you said, Ashraf, when things are going tough, when things are not going our way. Yes, he plays good football. He plays defensive good. He plays between the lines like he played against City. But in terms of preparation of players before the games, I don't think he has it. Because normally, as you said, against Atletico Madrid last season, I saw players missing open goals when they are like missing a simple pass. That is your mental preparation to win the game. If people that play professional sports, any professional sport, by the way, when you are mentally prepared, you make the right decisions, maybe 5 times out of 10. But when you aren't mentally prepared, you see a wrong decision after a wrong decision after a wrong decision. Even Lautaro Martinez in this game, if you watch him, the guy couldn't connect 2 passes together, even wide open, simple pass, he would give it to the opposition. Marcus Thuram couldn't hold the ball. Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Barella, the majority of them couldn't make the simple thing that they would do in training or in other games, or they did against Barcelona. That is mental and psychological preparation before the game. And the adrenaline didn't kick off. One of the things about Man United, right, is that if you watch Man United in these big games, I believe that Amorim is able to get the best out of his players in big games only, against Man City or against when he played like, forget the Champions League final because that was a shit game from both sides, by the way. The Europa League. That was a shit tactical game and quality. But he prepared his game well against Arsenal in the Cup. He prepared his game well against Liverpool. He prepared his game well against Chelsea. Against Bilbao, he prepared his game well. Even against Lyon, the adrenaline kicked in and he was able to win the game. That is a guy, might not be the best tactical genius, but you prepare your team well. Even Enzo Maresca, for example. Everyone ruled him out. Final hurdle, he got it done. He prepared the players very well. You know what I mean? I think Inzaghi has a problem in preparing the players because now in 4 or 5 moments, you fail. Second half, you fail to prepare the players. Maybe that's what happened in the game. And as you guys said, he was only behind in 16 minutes of this whole campaign, and he suddenly is behind 2-0. What do I do? I'm not used to this. My plan is to go ahead, and I'm not ahead. I'm 2-0 behind. I don't know what to do here. I don't know.
Right.
I didn't expect to do. That is the case. Let me do this because we haven't even spoken about the Premier League. Thank God 25-26 Arteta's last season. Arteta out. We'll talk about this. We'll see that.
Listen, man, all I know is Coach Tibbs got fired before Arteta. That says a lot about Arsenal as a club. But we'll move, man.
Sisk
Tibbs
to
is the
Inter
next
Milan
coach,
manager.
Mo, if you're just
What do you
confused.
think? Mo? I like it. Tibbs
Jacobs
is
Bamba,
who?
by the way, Mo.
No.
Mike Mannion is
What?
open to move to Chelsea following positive
Oh,
talks.
yeah.
Of course he
That's-
is.
Tweeted that a minute ago.
Bro, it's not like he's leaving Real Madrid couch. Chelsea fans talk about like Mike Mannion is leaving 9th AC Milan that just hired Allegri, and you're gonna offer him a lot more money. So,
Yeah,
but
but-
it's fair enough. It's fair enough.
It's fair
Let's
enough.
talk about
Fair
it. Let's
enough.
talk about it. Talk about it.
He's going to go, by the way, for 20 to 25 million.
Roski, the guy's price last season with 80 million.
Because they have no Europe,
You
so
know,
they
Man
need money.
United-
Tell me, what is he
Man
been
United,
looking like?
I'm
What
just
is he
gonna
been
tell you,
looking like
Man
at AC Milan?
Man United guys last season inquired about Onana and Mannion. Mannion was out, they were outpriced. Now he's going for 20 to 25 million, and Man United stuck with.
Well, he's out of contract next year, right? So it's a 1-year deal left.
Yeah.
So that brings
Yeah.
the valuation way down. So yeah, no, it's a good situation to be in for Chelsea. Right moment to strike. Guys going into the World Cup, which is a big move too. So you know he's not going to be sleeping this year. You know he's going to be putting forth his best effort to get into that France team. So, and he's already France's number one. So excellent situation to put ourselves into, especially for the price point.
Do we? Okay. Did we see Wirtz Instagram story about the number 10? Yes, he did. He did, which is, I think that was all rubbish about him, with all due respect. Go into Liverpool and ask him for Liverpool's best midfielder jersey. Wirtz is not like Mbappe. You know what I mean? Like with all due respect. Anyway, that is just another thing. Sis to Inter Milan. I love it. I like it. Progressive. Good personality. I love Cesc. Great player. Fantastic footballer. Great brain. Talks good about the football. If he can implement half of what he says to Inter, I think we'll be in very good hand. I am okay with being in a shit era for 2-3 years. If we get Champions League every season, I'm okay with not winning the league. If it means we're building something for the future, and he's going to be the guy to build something for Inter. Trust the process.
Do well at Inter
That is what I'm
Milan
gonna say.
and then hopefully replace Arteta afterwards.
Trust the process. That's what I'm about to say. Trust the process. That is what I'm about to say.
Knowing you, Ashraf, he'll end up at Chelsea. He'll take over from Chelsea instead.
To be honest, we let him go to Chelsea. He was begging to come
Of
back to
course,
us.
of course,
And,
No,
he
I know,
but wait,
I
I'm
know.
of course.
not lying. That was actually the reports. He
Wenger.
wanted
Yeah.
Arsenal, and
Who-
Wenger said, "I've
yeah,
got
Wenger-
Ramsey
Wenger-
and Wilshere." Oh, stupid. So
Yeah.
No,
Wenger
he's not
down.
lying. Ashraf is not lying. That was the story.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
fact.
Arsene Wenger
Fabregas
admitted that
confirmed it.
he
And
said
Fabregas
not to
too.
send him back. Yeah.
Oh yeah, to come back to Arsenal. You mean? Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Because we had a clause, first refusal. So if he ever was to leave Barca, we get first refusal. And
That's
for whatever reason, because Wenger got Ozil a year before, he said, "Well, I can't have 2 10s." The funny thing is, he didn't even play as a 10 for Chelsea.
No,
He played as
deeper.
an 8.
Yeah, deeper.
So he could. Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
If he wanted,
that's
if
a
he wanted
Premier
him
League
back,
title. You got that
could've.
Premier League title. He got what he wanted.
at Chelsea,
Of course.
it was a very strange move for him to go to Chelsea.
I didn't think so. He loved it here, man.
Yeah,
What do you
I
mean?
don't
Like,
think
Yeah, no, a strange move
He
in
needed to
terms of
leave.
like, loyalty. Why didn't he go to Arsenal at that time? Why
well,
Chelsea?
He wanted to. He wanted,
No.
that's why I said,
We
he
were just
wanted to.
speaking about it. He chose
Yeah.
Arsenal. He was trying to make the move happen. Wenger
And you
said,
then
"I've got
said no?
Ozil."
And
Yeah,
then
because we
Mourinho
got
swooped
Ozil
in
the year
and said,
before.
"Yo, man, I need you. Come."
Yeah.
Come
I
to
think
he
me."
for
went
that
there-
only, Wenger should have been sacked that day. He should sit down.
Bro, Wenger should have gone way before that. to
Should
be
have
honest.
been sacked
guy-
that day.
Fabregas went to Chelsea that first season. He had like 18 assists in the
Yes,
league, and
I
they ended
know.
up winning the league with bro. Like it's ridiculous, man. He's one of the. I think he's one of the best midfielders to ever play in the league. I think he's super underrated. I don't know why people
even
don't talk
think he's
about him.
underrated. Like he's rated.
No, he's not underrated. No, I think everyone says that.
No, he's underrated.
Guys, he's got he's
Guys.
underrated. He's got the second or third most assists in Premier League history, and people don't talk about that enough.
Bro,
He's
I'm
one of the best
telling you, if
playmakers
you-
that Premier League's ever seen.
If you talk about it, I can absolutely name you. I'm talking about media. but like 7 or 8 midfielders
I-
that people rate above him. 7 or 8
Man,
or even
yeah,
I
but
can name
I-
10. 10.
No, but I think
Gerrard,
I think a lot of that has to
Lampard.
do with
I'm gonna
longevity
tell
as
you.
a team.
Let me tell you. Let me
Mm.
name quickly. Let me name them. Gerrard, Lampard, schools. Yaya Toure, Kevin De Bruyne. Right? People rate Michael
Vieira.
Carrick above Fabregas. People pay.
Nah, let's not
No,
get
no, no,
carried
no.
away now.
People do.
Carrick?
Do.
But they
I'm
do.
telling
They
you, the
do.
media-
He's right.
We're
Yeah.
not. I'm
Nah.
not talking about me or you, Couch. I'm talking about the people talk about it in the media. They rate
David
Michael Carrick
Silva. David
above-
Silva.
David Silva ahead of him. Rodri ahead of him.
That's
Right?
Silva is not
Patrick
better than him.
Vieira. Patrick Vieira. They rate Kanti ahead of him. Right? I'm talking about. I can go on.
Mad.
They rate, by the way, they rate Ozil as a midfielder ahead of him in the league.
No,
They rate
no,
Ozil.
no.
Come
They
on.
don't.
They do.
Ozil, they don't.
Not
Ozil,
us.
they don't. Ozil,
People
they don't.
talk about Ozil as he is in the Premier League. Great.
The thing
Right?
is, all the players that you mentioned, Mo.
Oh,
Most of
what
them
about
stayed-
Roy
most of them
Keane?
stayed. Most of them stayed with a club, and not just any club.
Exactly
big
the
clubs
point I was going to make.
for a long period of time, and
didn't
won
go to a rival.
major trophies. Cesc didn't really win. No, he was part of the Invincible squad, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
But I don't
No,
think
no,
No,
Hey,
no, he didn't.
Was
He
he?
didn't. He joined that summer. No, he joined that summer. He
But
didn't
that's
get a
okay,
trophy.
fine.
Really?
But he
Yeah.
didn't. He didn't.
He won
win
the FA
anything.
Cup though.
You sure? But you know.
No. I'm saying with Arsene Wenger, like before
There is an
the
echo
Henrys
coming
and all
from
left.
someone. I don't know who, but fine.
I don't think
But
it's
that's the
mine. I've
thing,
been hearing it for a while.
Then he went. Obviously, he left, and for whatever reason, Arsenal weren't successful post in terms of the major trophies. Then he went to Barcelona, did okay, and then came back and went to Chelsea. But Chelsea already had Frank Lampard, who's an iconic figure. Already had John Terry, who was an iconic figure. Had Didier Drogba, who's an iconic figure.
Yeah, but Rax,
not-
that
it's
shouldn't
difficult to-
affect people. That shouldn't
no
affect
one says-
people rating someone for
You know what
his
the funny thing about
performances.
rating is?
This guy,
He's
okay,
world-
even in the
world-class.
period where we didn't win anything, he won Young Player of the Season once. He was one of our youngest captains at 21. He had the most assists in the league 2-3 times in his 2-3 seasons, 2-3 different seasons. Yeah, but that's not that's not enough to determine someone. No, that's not true.
And to be
والله
honest,
العظيم there are-
30-year
Fine.
period.
It's not tennis.
the
No, but
reason
we
why I
are
think
also
it-
talking about a
Yeah, go ahead.
30-year period of time where there were a lot of very good players. He's quality-wise, he's in amongst those players, right? No one's saying he's not. I don't think anybody. But obviously, Gerrard comes to mind for Liverpool fans. Lampard comes to mind for Chelsea fans. Scholes and Carrick come to mind, and Keane come to mind for Man United. Like you can't. Back
Yeah,
against
but
that
that's
because-
when it comes to emotional connection. I'm saying when it comes to if I ask you guys to name the best
People don't
quality
disrespect
midfielders to
him.
play in the league, it shouldn't be based on emotional connection, how long you play. It should be
Football's
based on how good
emotional,
you've been.
But football is emotional, right? Like what?
Yeah, but when you're discussing
I don't
quality,
know.
that shouldn't be the case, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I think
that-
you're,
like-
you're trying to say that we should be more objective with our decisions on football players, and I agree. But what I will say is, more often than not, you'll have a hard time finding players that have played for rivals being at the apex of the adoration or the adulation. So like somebody like Cesc Fabregas that
Why?
played. It's just the way it is. It's like football rivalry.
Ashley
right?
Cole-
It's
Ashley
like
Cole is
tribalism,
considered-
man. It's
yeah,
just
but
true.
Ashley Cole is considered the best left back to ever play in the league. He played for Arsenal and Chelsea.
That's true. That's true. That's
Can I,
very
okay,
true.
can we
It
go,
is
let's go
possible,
back.
you know.
Let me do this and let's go back to actually talk about
United fans may disagree.
Cesc loves Arsenal more than Chelsea. My captain. Who's your captain? Cesc? Is he your captain?
He was our captain before.
Broski, it's like Arsenal fans are just, bro, they're cursed, bro. Thierry Henry left him and won the Champions League and Barcelona, bro. He won the triple, if I'm not mistaken. Cesc Fabregas came back to win the league with Chelsea. Like,
It's
bro,
just
like,
the way. It's just the way. If you want to win, just leave.
didn't Giroud win something with Chelsea as well?
Yeah, he
left?
did. He did.
Europa
He
League.
won the
Against
Champions League.
Arsenal.
Champions League as well.
Champions League.
was
Like,
like
I
in
swear to
Europa
God,
League.
like, bro, I swear to God, I just cursed, bro. Just fucking cursed.
He won the Europa League against Arsenal.
That's right.
He scored against us as
Did he
well.
celebrate? Did he
Yeah.
celebrate?
Yeah.
Oh, he was
did,
he was
it was.
partying on the bus, man. He was
He was
like,
on the
Bro, he was
Yeah,
salty.
he was singing the song.
The fucking shit.
You don't
man.
remember
He
that,
had
bro.
every right to. He was salty at the time because he became third choice after Aubameyang and Lacazette, which I think makes sense. But yeah, like I think he wasted like that signing. He was one of the worst signings we've ever had, to be honest. But anyways,
But anyway, let's go back to Manchester. Moral of the story: Arsenal is a stepping stone. They weren't in 2002. They weren't actually, but listen, they're not a stepping stone. There are other clubs that are stepping stone,
Not anymore. We were, but not anymore.
like Liverpool with Trent, stepping stone. Watch McAllister go to Real Madrid next season. Season after. Fonzie, 1-0
You're
more.
not getting
Fonzie.
Mo. You're not getting me that easily.
Not you, it's him, Fonzie, the Liverpool fan. The Liverpool fan. As he's saying, bro, if you want a serious career, you leave Arsenal. Not now, though. But anyway, can we go back to United quickly on United, please? 45 minutes, we're back to square one because Staffy just joined.
Blame my mic. Don't blame me. What do you want me to do? All I did, by the way, is restart. I didn't edit anything in the settings, which means I don't know what was happening.
I tell you, StreamYard has been absolutely. Ashraf joined and no mic as well. So
Yeah,
It's
it
not
has
only-
to be
But
streamed.
before we go on, guys, it's about 850 people here. We're closing in on 900 people. Let's get the likes up, guys, to at least 400 likes. Hit that like button, people. Support. Subscribe. Actually, I'm very close to 32K. If people are interested in helping the channel, I'm very close to 32K, actually. So hit that like button. Let's talk about United. Mbuemo. Who else? Anyone interested in talking about Man United? Holy shit.
Buemo, Cunha,
Everyone looked at
Bruno
their phone.
staying, Sancho staying. Well, Sancho's back, not staying. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Wallahi, today, bro. Listen, man. I don't smoke cigarettes. Wallahi, today was the day. Today was the day. I was like, you know what? I only smoke when I'm stressed. And I haven't been this stressed for a couple years. I was like, you know what? I needed one today. Bro, waking up to Bruno staying and Sancho coming back, bro, it was a two-piece combo. Bum, bum. I was like, yo, why? It's too early for this. Yeah, man. I'm not. I've been annoyed all day. I've been annoyed.
How are you
I've been depressed.
annoyed if you're
I'm
linked
depressed.
to Mbuemo? How are you annoyed if you're linked
Because
to
it undoes
Mbuemo?
it.
You're getting
That's how I'm looking
It
at it.
doesn't
I'm
un-
looking at it as
it
it
doesn't
undoes
undo
it.
it, bro. It doesn't
It
undo
does.
it. It
I think it
doesn't.
does.
But
I look
Sancho
at it,
won't
it does.
stay. He's gonna leave again. No,
Sancho's
Sancho's
gonna
gonna
go
go.
on loan.
He
yeah.
wants to go to
Sancho's
West Ham,
gonna
isn't
go.
he? He wants to go to West Ham, yeah.
So Sancho's gonna go anyways. The thing is, right now, it's probably gonna be a loan. He has 1 year left on his contract. There's minimal money we can make on him. People who think we're gonna sell him for 35 million, like, I'm sorry to tell you, that's very
Not even
delusional.
close.
We'd be close. We'd be lucky to get anything close to that 25 that Chelsea was gonna give us. Because
And he doesn't want to.
Bro.
He doesn't want to drop his wages, isn't it, Stuff? He doesn't want to drop them.
Well,
well, that's
I
not the
actually-
reason. he didn't go-
I don't blame him, to be honest. Like if he's
I
on,
can
what,
actually
50K?
see Arsenal going for this bum because
Yeah,
Arteta would
Arteta.
love these
Yes.
players from other Premier League clubs.
Man City,
Bargain,
Yeah, but you know,
lower
that's-
price. If he cannot get Nico Williams or Rodrigo, he'll say, well, Sancho's a stopgap. Oh, Allah.
Do you know that?
Yeah,
Oh, by the way, Sancho wanted to go. Do you know when Sancho went AWOL at City? Do you know where he was? He was trying to make a deal with Arsenal, and they told him that he didn't even tell City. But then they came out with the generals from City. They Jack. He says he was actually in London trying to make a deal with Arsenal behind City's back, and then City found out and told him that no, we can only allow you to go elsewhere. So he might actually end up at Arsenal. He might end up at Arsenal because that was a deal.
I don't think he's an Arteta type of player, but Ashraf is right. He could do some bullshit 1 year loan, stopgap shit like he did with Sterling. But stylistically and profile wise, nah. He's deluded anyways to think that he can get over 200K in this market that he's in right now. I'm sorry, he's not that good. There's a reason why Chelsea told him to fuck off.
Which
He
is
wants to get
probably
paid
why he's
more
actually
money. Like,
staying
what are you
on those
doing
moves.
here?
Which is probably why he's
Staffy,
going back.
I was told by Bowlers FC that Sancho, once he joins the guys at Chelsea and he goes to the right
Yeah, but that,
environment,
I'm not gonna lie,
he'll be
bro.
the best. He'll be the best player in the league again, bro. I was told
3-year
that.
comps. Listen, when I see comps of him in Dortmund jerseys, I'm like, bro, it's time to give it up. Like, it's generally, sometimes you gotta learn when to give it up. It's been given up with Sancho for over almost a year and a half, 2 years now. So whatever it is, I'm annoyed about. I'm more annoyed about Bruno staying. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that United fans celebrated, it's just sad, bro. It's generally so sad that United fans just still look at this and they're like, there's people that still say, oh, but you don't need to sell your best player to rebuild. Honestly, bro, like, did we not just see what PSG did? Like, was PSG not winning the Champions League a wake-up call to everyone who's scared to do a rebuild, to scared to move on from your so-called best player? Come on, bro. They lost Mbappe. A year later, they won the Champions League. Because you know what they did? They had a plan, and they stuck to it. And the plan was to rebuild. No one thought in the beginning of the season, or even last season, a front line of Dembele, Doué, and, well, Kvaratskhelia wasn't here at that time. He came in January. But even if Kvaratskhelia honestly was here in the summer, wallahi, no one would have told you that front line was going to win the Champions League. You had to see it to believe it. The amount of players that they got rid of over the last 2 years, bro, they sold Messi, they sold Neymar, they sold Mbappe. Actually, they didn't sell Mbappe. He left for a fee a year later after everything they did to try and keep him. The amount of players that they moved on to generate money and bring in the players. Ugarte spent 1 year in their club and they moved them on just to get the right profiles. And we were the idiots that took him. And I'm actually so jealous. I tweeted this earlier. I'm so jealous that I don't have a Man United equivalent in the market when it comes to me, because I am Man United. I don't have a Man United to dump my shit to. All of you guys, probably except for Rap, because
you can dump to Inter. You can dump to
we don't
Inter.
get to dump players to each other. That's
You
it.
can dump to Inter.
You can dump players to Inter.
You're broke.
Napoli.
You're broke.
Napoli.
You're
You
fucking
don't
broke.
understand her everything. Exactly the problem. People,
Mark, you don't know the video I'm talking about.
You know what? People in my mentions thinking that Inter are gonna pay 40 million pounds for Højlund. Wallahi, people are just turning stupid. Bro.
You take him on loan. That's about it.
Exactly. And I said that free loan just to get him off the squad list, because you don't want to see him on the squad list.
Yeah, you need to compete with Napoli, who are getting KDB, right? So it's good. You get Bruno, they have KDB.
It's very good.
Yeah,
we get Højlund. No, Højlund. We get Højlund, they have
Bruno,
KDB. Højlund even.
But yeah, man,
Anyway.
Bruno, I'm not gonna lie. I don't understand how people celebrated that. That's 100 million. We are never gonna get a chance to set a player for 100 million for a long time, especially that he's about to be 31. I don't think he's past it. He still has a lot to offer. At the end of the day, bro, I look at this and I'm like, the club not being aggressive enough to move on enough players, especially him, and use the 100 million. There's so much you can do with 100 million. So much. That's at least 3 quality players that you can bring in, put in their down payments, and do the rest on installments over the next few years, and you build a completely unknown squad. I look at it as this, and this is why I didn't even answer your question earlier, because it's irrelevant to me now. You said where the United finish next year with sending in Mbeumo and Cunha. To me, that was never going to be good enough anyways. It was always going to be, as much as we need attackers, I always wanted to see who we were going to get in the midfield. United fans are so scared of life beyond Bruno that with 100 million, we could have set up a new midfield pivot. You could have actually, you know what it is? You could have actually entertained the idea of, you know what, let's be aggressive and get Adam Wharton. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it puts you on that table. Let's go and speak about Baleba. Let's go and speak about Edison. Let's go and speak about these players that we want in the midfield. The fact that we don't move on from Bruno means Bruno's going to get one of these 2 positions. And to me, that already shows me what type of football we're going to play next season. Because it's all good to add goals to this team, but I'm not going to lie. Adding goals is not the only issue that we have. It's one of our biggest issues over the last 2 years. But bro, once again, it's another summer where we're refusing to sell a midfielder and buy a controller. We haven't had a controller in that midfield since Carrick retired. Carrick has been a coach for how many years now? He retired in what, 2018, 2017? It's almost 8 years, bro, and we still haven't replaced him. And yet again, another summer where we're going to miss out. And honestly, bro, it deflated me. I don't know how people don't see this. They're going to look at Bruno's creative numbers and say, oh, but look how much GA had next season, as if I need GA from the position he's going to play. He's going to play deep in the pitch. He has no physicality. He has no controlling in the midfield. And honestly, it deflated me, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. I was so deflated when I saw that. And I just know that once again, next season, we're going to be Vibes FC, trying to float somewhere around the top 5. Well, it used to be top 4, but now it's top 5. And that's about it. And if United floats somewhere around the top 5, everyone's going to sit there and clap their hands. They're going to be like, yeah, we did a great job. No, we didn't, bro.
Yes, you did a great job. If you float around the top 5, that's a great job.
Because guess what? I can finish around the top 5 next season. Guess what's going to happen? I still have to look at life beyond Bruno. So even if Bruno is a part of me being around that, guess what? I'm still going to have to find a way to move on from him because he's not getting any younger and I still haven't rebuilt my midfield. So even if I fluke or somehow get myself into a top 5, top 6 conversation next season, which is what you're setting for me right now, I still didn't complete a rebuild.
Yeah, but you know what that does do, though? It does put you in a better stead to get players in that can help you get into that top 4, top 5 position. You know, currently you're not dining at Europeans' finest right now. Even though Man United have the name, you're not.
No, they don't need to. They can still attract Acuna. They can still attract Mbeumo, right?
But those names.
And 100 million is a lot of money. Like Staffy said, you can buy 2-3 good players that will elevate your squad for the next 4, 5 seasons.
They
6
need to
seasons,
revolutionize that midfield, and like 2-3 players at 100 million is not going to do that. You need a, like he said,
2-3 players. No. You missed what I said.
You need to take steps, though. You need to take steps. And
Absolutely.
If you're
So
100
this
million
is the
down,
step.
No, Couch. But you gotta hear me out. 100 million in Bruno.
I don't know.
Finish, and I'll explain my point.
Yeah. So I think with that 100 million, you can improve a few different. Because I don't think Man United to go from here to like challenging right at the top anytime soon. But I think maybe what you do is you try and bring a few players in and then get into the mix for top 5, top 6 in that kind of region. And then maybe in a year or two's time, then you look to make the next step, right?
Absolutely.
But that 100 million, if you can bring that 100 million in, you can make those steps a little bit quicker. Maybe you even overperform. Someone drops out, someone has a bad season, whatever. They may find themselves. The thing is, I remember when we did our rebuild, the best thing that happened for us in Klopp's first half season when he came in is we didn't have European football the following season. So we had a smaller team. We only played one game a week, and we snuck into the top 4. The following season, we got into Champions League. We got to the Champions League final. We got top 4 again. The year after that, we won the Champions League. The year after that, we won the league. But we made those small incremental improvements, and we had a bit of luck because Arsenal in that first season, we beat Arsenal to the 4th place on the final day of the season.
Yeah, that's not really what I'm arguing here. I say that like you have to make those incremental growths, and you have to be in a position to attract the right names to the club. Like I think Mbomo's a good signing. I think that's a really good signing for this club, given where they're coming from and where they're going. Now they,
Cunha
Cunha as well. Like those are good building blocks. Now you're not going to change the engine of a Pinto and make it a Ferrari overnight. You have to slowly build it. No,
but we're not trying to change it. That's the thing. The issue is we're not changing the midfield. I wanted a new midfield.
Do you need goals?
Hold on. Can I just ask something for the people? Guys, Man United midfield in this system consists of 2 players only. We know it will be one. We know no. That's a system. We know it will be one of Ugarte or Casemiro, and they need someone next to him, which is a controller. We know that they have Kobe Meno. We know now they have the 2 guys behind the forwards. We know who they are. They are 4 players. It's going to be Mbuemo, Cunha, Diallo, and maybe Cherki, and now they're going to go and target a striker. So these 2 positions behind the forwards are already occupied by these 4 players. Bruno is part of a midfield. All they needed is 1 player, that controller next to Casemiro or Ugarte, and they should be all right. 1 breaker, 1 controller, right? That controller is not going to cost 100 plus. It will just cost 100 or maybe even less. So if Bruno left, I understand what Staff is talking about. He would have gone and got top-notch midfielder that might change the shape of the team completely. For 100 million, you can definitely get a top-notch midfielder.
Yeah, but who?
You don't even need to spend a whole 100 million on him, Mo. I'm telling you, you could have at least got 2 players in. And that's the point that I'm trying to say. Bruno's sale for if you don't. By the way, what's your name again? Sorry, Chelsea fan. Couch.
Yeah.
Couch.
Bruno's pure profit for us. We paid off his fee years ago. So he would be pure profit for PSR. So he comes in, that 100 million, you can split it on a couple down payments for a player. So even if you go for 2 players, that's it gives you the option to at least put, no one is going to do that, but you could put 50 on the table and then do the rest in installments for like a Wharton as an example, which wouldn't happen, but that's what I'm telling you, that's how much financial power you would have. And then you could still go and pursue another player. Now that he's not moving, I know the shape of the midfield is not changing, and I know the midfield is not good enough. You could have somehow milked out 1 more year of Casemiro and Ugarte being the destroyer, even though I don't like it, and then you address it a year later. But the fact that we still have no pure controller in this team, I'm adding Cunha and Mbuemo, who's playing the ball to them. I'm going to be playing grenade football again, but with better attackers. I'm tired of this, man. Like, when is it enough? Like, I'm genuinely tired. I want to move on. I'm seeing people still talking about integrating Sancho back in this team, integrating Rashford back in this team. I'm tired, son. I'm not trying to see these players again. When is it time to say, just blow this shit up and move on? How the club is
You can't move that player unless he wants to leave.
Yeah.
Bro, really aggressive and trying to move him on. I've seen clubs move on players all the time.
Do you know what's funny stuff?
He's the
No.
captain of the club.
Yeah, but
He
he's
said,
Look,
if the
I-
club
the
asks
thing
me to
is-
leave, I'm gonna leave. Why is no one asking him to
Yeah.
leave? And by the way, Amarim as well, bro. I'm
it's
this
Amarim, it's
close.
Amarim.
I'm this
Yeah.
close to dissing this guy because
Yeah, he
bro,
has to let you go.
Bruno's coming out and talking about it, and he's saying, "Oh, well, the manager asked me to stay." Honestly, grow some fucking balls. Grow some fucking balls. You sit here and tell us all the time, "This is a working process. This is a rebuild. It's gonna take time. We're gonna have to suffer." And then at the same time, you don't even want to let go of the old players, and you want to hinge on to them and just barely make it. How can you tell me it's a rebuild, but you're scared to move on Bruno? What is this obsession with Bruno? You only met him 7 months ago.
Maybe
It's
you
he's
don't know
acting the
football
guy
and
who
he's a
goes
good
on
footballer.
1 or 2 dates and already tells the chick, "I love you." Like, bro, you just met him. What do you mean I can't move him on? What do you mean I want you to come back, bro? That's 100 million. Nah, the
Do you
excuse,
know what-
I'm not gonna lie, I'm frying his ass next season because I gave him a lot of benefit of doubt and I thought it was reasonable. But if we go next season and the midfield is shit, and you were the reason, one of the players when the midfield stayed because you asked him personally to stay, and Bruno came out and said it, so it's already confirmed. I'm frying his ass. Because you can't tell me it's a rebuild, but then you don't want to move on one of the players that's going to get you the most money. I seen Pep Guardiola move on Ronaldinho and Deco to fucking unlock Messi and Iniesta and them, and then won a Champions League the year after. If you can get rid of Ronaldinho, I seen Pep get rid of Yaya Toure. I've seen PSG move on Mbappe leave PSG. I've seen Coutinho move Liverpool.
Aguero leaving
Ask
City.
right now, what would have happened if they would have kept Coutinho? He would have never played on the wing because Mane was already there. They would have had to shoehorn him in the middle. And you look at me right now in the eyes and tell me that if Coutinho played in that Liverpool midfield that had Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Fabinho, they would have won the Champions League.
They
God,
begged
they
him
would
to
never.
stay.
Because all that
He begged
midfield
him
did
to
was
stay.
run and eat grass. And then Coutinho got moved on for 120 million, and guess what
He
happened?
wasn't
They
moved on. They begged him to stay. They kissed his feet to stay. He wanted to
Who
leave,
wants to
bro.
move? I'm not talking about who wants to break the relationship with who. I am telling you, there is a possibility that the grass is greener when you make these brave moves. Being scared to make these moves is why I am annoyed. United fans want to see it. I still have players that played for Louis van Gaal. I am tired. I'm tired. Louis van Gaal days, and they're still here. 6 years of Bruno, fucking 7 years of Maguire, 10 years of Shaw. For fuck's sakes, Evans just fucking retired 2 days ago. And people still don't want to move on. Move on. Yeah, move on. It's tiring, bro. You're laughing, but it's true, bro. Move
Oh,
on.
yeah, that's facts, man. Like, if there's ever a time to move on, it would have been now after finishing 17th. in
And
the
the
league.
money,
There'd be
and
no
the
reason
money.
to maintain
When we
anything
go
that's
next
happening
season,
right now.
no one would fucking know what's good with this team. Oh, there's no Bruno, there's no Rashford. Oh, the fuck, this is Acuna and Buemo. They got a midfielder. It's so unpredictable that the way we're gonna play, that is a completely new image of a team that no one knows what's gonna happen. Number one, it gives the fans an excitement to the unknown factor of how good or bad the team is gonna be next season. And for about 10 first games of the league, no one even knows how you're gonna play. So you might actually start the league well because we've seen how many managers come in and build a new team and no one figures it out until maybe January. You could have went on a run doing that. But no, I have to go back and watch Bruno Grenade football again.
Yeah, but that's
fucking
his
break,
boy.
man.
That's his Portuguese
Fucking-
boy.
to be
That's
honest
his
with you,
Portuguese boy
that's
from
an
Sporting.
epic rant. Epic rant.
It's tiring, bro. It's tiring, man.
Wallahi, epic rant. Wallah al-azim. Like, he was waiting to speak about United from the heart for the longest time, bro. And he finally got to do it.
I didn't want to speak today. Wallahi, when you invited me, I was like, do I even go on? Wallahi, I've been depressed all day. I've been listening to All Empty Azhar. Wallahi, I've been listening to all day. You think I'm joking? Wallahi, I've been. It's been on my playlist all day. I even
But what do
tweeted
you-
the video of Hossam when he thought the Premier League was gone. I was like, bye-bye, rebuilt.
But do you
I
blame
know,
him
I
though?
saw
It was a more. Do you blame it? It was 100 million for a 31-year-old. A 31-year-old.
Yeah, I
100
don't know
million.
if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that, to be honest.
It
don't
was
believe
more
the
than
money?
that.
Yeah.
It was more.
Like, I know
It was
Saudis
more.
pay, but they wouldn't pay 100
No.
million for
It
35.
was more. It was more from the Arabic. I went to the Arabic Twitter.
I
I
know,
went
but
to
I
the
feel it's all
Arabic-
rumors. They wouldn't
went to the-
actually pay that much.
No. Ya Habibi, he already sent someone to check the life and I asked the family and they said no. It's not because he wanted to stay at Man United. They don't want to move to Saudi Arabia. They don't want to move to Saudi Arabia. The money, I went to Twitter, Arabic Twitter. You know, Ashraf, there is Arabic Twitter, the journalists of beIN Sports and the journalists of the Saudi channels. And they were talking about 120 million pounds ready to be paid to sign Bruno. In Arabic, it said that.
If I'm the manager, I'm convincing them to go. I'm telling them, brother,
He,
go.
he said his family said no. His family said no. And because
I
his
think
contract,
it-
but I'm telling you, hold on, guys. I'm going to tell you the difference. His contract was not astronomical because of the money they had to pay Man United. That is why, for him, it wasn't like an astronomical pay. He wasn't getting paid 100 million a year. He was getting paid way more than Man United, but not astronomical numbers.
700k.
For him to be convinced to take the family and leave Man
but
United.
It's different. It's also tax-free, Mo. Here, he pays he's paying 50% tax here in the UK. If he's
So
going
he's
there,
gonna
he's
get
not paying
4
any
times
tax.
his pay over there because he's getting 300, 350 with United, 300, I think.
They begged him.
Almost 4
They
times
begged
more.
him. They begged
I
him.
think
He's a bitch as well. Let me- Sorry, he's actually a bitch as well, bro. Let me tell you this. The guy actually sent his agent all the way to Riyadh to speak to the owner. And the owner said, no, this is amazing, bro. This is the worst negotiations I've ever heard of in my life. He said, go demand this, and that. They sit down in 5 minutes. And the owner's like, you know what? Whatever Bruno wants, Bruno gets. He's like, go tell him you got it. Bruno's like, you know what? Yeah, no, you know what? I don't want to move. I want to stay in Europe. So why the fuck you sent him to Riyadh then? It's clear that you never wanted to move. You just wanted to know, you know what? Let me see if they might accept this. And they say yes. And you still didn't go. So why'd you waste everyone's time? We
He's
wasted a
never
whole
gonna
week
get another
talking
bag
about
like
this,
that
knowing
again.
that he deep down didn't want to move anyways. Because he's still got, imagine agreeing personal terms. So you're like, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to go because they agreed my personal terms.
عادي Subamendi did that to Liverpool.
What a
عادي, it
waste of
happens.
time, bro. No.
He's never getting that offer again, and he's 31. That was his last page. But you know, big up
Maybe.
his family. You know, his family.
Let's move on from Man United because we don't have a lot of time. We'll pick up stuff. Sancho scored less goals than Mudryk last season. So much for the Bowlers FC.
You know what? This is a good one.
Oh my
He
God,
cares
that is
about
a
money.
mad one.
He cares about money, right? Saudi Arabia, do me a favor. This is the one player that only cares about money.
You
Bruno
know,
doesn't care about money. This guy cares about money. He wants 200k. Yeah, they'll give him 200k there easily.
you know how shameless Sancho is to go ask Chelsea for 200k for a 4-year contract or 5-year contract for 200k.
They're losing
And
all
he has 2 years left with 300k. So he's literally asking Chelsea to get paid more than what the rest of his contract at Man United.
He scored in the final.
Shameless
He
as
scored in the
fuck.
final. He scored in the final. He's got bargaining.
Bro, he's shameless as fuck, bro. Asking
Yeah,
Chelsea
crazy.
for that much money while fucking Cole Palmer on 150. It's fucking mad, bro.
And you know what the thing is about that too? It's less about like the money and more about like what about the rest of your career? What's the next movement in your career? Like
It's gone. I
This is a
think
chance-
he's ruined his career.
I think
it's
so too,
over.
because this would have been his last chance to play at a club that is fighting for everything. Like if he doesn't make it the next place, he's not going to get another opportunity to play the top level of football.
No,
So
but genuinely think about it.
what's
None
his
of the
salary?
big six.
What's his
Yeah,
salary?
for sure. I would have taken less than this, like
300,
my career,
300k,
top level.
right? 300k, right? 300. His salary
Bro,
is 300.
He's not gonna. Spurs
Sancho?
wouldn't take him.
That Sancho makes sense.
Yeah. No,
No, it's not.
United, you make 300. Wallahi, we just check it.
It's not. I remember it was less.
it
Bonus
less?
is take it up to. Yeah.
Bonus is take it up to 300, so maybe that's the total package then. Guys, like the video. I actually want to ask $1 million question now, so we can just end this. Let me just do this. Left wing market stinks. Real Madrid so greedy. 3 wingers. No, they don't have 3 wingers. I
It
don't know who
doesn't. It doesn't stink. We are after the wrong people. It doesn't stink.
you are after the wrong people. Guys, I was asked by Igal. Okay, so I did a show with Igal solo yesterday on him. We spoke about Inter and all that stuff, and then we spoke about the market. We weren't even speaking about Arteta. We spoke about the 4 teams that we have representative here for. You know what I mean? Like these guys, Patrick, Rack, Couch. And at the end, Igal asked me a very simple. He said, I don't know what is going on with the Arsenal transfer. We are after Rodrigo. Rodrigo might not go, and we might go for someone else. We don't know who. We are going after Cisco instead of going after Gyokeres, and Arsenal fans are happy with it. While Chelsea are getting Delap, and they might get Gittins, and they might get another striker, a goalkeeper. Liverpool are going after Wirtz. They're still looking for a striker. They got the 2 fullbacks already. City are rebuilding Cherki, Reinders. They're still going to get the left back is Nouri, and they're asking for Livramento. Do we think that 3 teams will actually leave Arsenal behind? Because at the end of the show, the guy asked me, bro, why am I leaving the show depressed? What happened? We spent like about 15 minutes, and then the show is like, why am I depressed? Why does it feel like we'll finish 4th next season and we're not gonna be in the mix and be left behind with this window?
I don't know, man.
Anyway,
I don't know, what's like we're 2 days into the window? Like this
just
first
2 days,
window, this initial window, like I don't know what the
we're looking at the signs, Couch. We're looking at the signs. Like we know that Man City won this, Liverpool won that,
right?
Chelsea won this. Straightforward.
Very
Arsenal are
specific move.
still like,
But that doesn't matter, Mo. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as you get your signings before the season starts. Bro, 2 seasons ago, we beat everyone early in the window and got Kai Havertz. Well, what did that do for us? Last season, we agreed with Calafiori at the very beginning of the summer, and we had Moreno confirmed. It was just a matter of time before he came in. What did that do for us? I look, there are certain signings we need to get through the door. As long as we get them before the season starts, I don't care like when they come. This thing about we have to get them in June, we have to start agreeing.
You don't have to.
It's a bit ridiculous. Yeah, because we have done that before and it hasn't helped us.
Wait,
I don't think you have to.
It helps.
Mo, is it go forgetting that some of these clubs were in the Club World Cup, so we have to do this.
Absolutely.
Like Chelsea and City and Madrid and them, we have to rush to get some of these players. Yeah, and even the Khaldun, our manager, our chairman, said we need our signings at the Club World Cup because we need them ready. Because he says we might rest longer than others for the preseason. The thing about Arsenal, it reminds me the season when United went crazy. Do you remember that when United were Bagnori, the Bagnogatti, and I was jealous. I was like, why is United moving like this? But you're right. He's right. Sometimes when you move fast, you benefit nothing. But also
you make mistakes.
Liverpool have to go after Wirtz because Wirtz is such a big figure. Like, let's be honest, he is so big that they know that if they mess about, he might end up in somebody else's hands. So
there's that. There's also the financial aspect. Like, if you get,
Arsenal don't have to do anything.
Once you've spent that amount of money, then you know what parameters you've got to work with in terms of buying players, selling players,
the rest
and
of
things
the window.
like that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no.
One thing.
I think the clubs in the Club World Cup, it's difficult because you guys aren't going to have much of a holiday if you really are going to take this seriously.
So you need the players.
And then, like the whole idea, we need to bring these players in so they can gel. Like, I'm sorry, they're not going to gel in a week and a half. So the whole thing is a little bit bizarre. Like,
it's a high.
Yeah, but it looks like the clubs want, like the club Chelsea and City and even Madrid. Look, they want to pay 10 million for Trent. I don't know why all the clubs in the Club World Cup they are pushing so fast to get all the signings in and register.
There's money to be won. That's why.
Because it's like when the Champions League first came out, right, or the European Cup as it was, Madrid won the first 5. English teams didn't even bother entering. They thought it was beneath them. They didn't even think it was a good idea. They thought it was pathetic, right? But over time, these things become more and more prestigious. That's why Madrid want to win it now because it'll be the first. And who knows, in 20 years' time, 30 years, 40 years' time, they may be not just the biggest.
Might become a big tournament.
They will have the most Club World Cups or something. That's why they're playing the long game. So I get it, and it's a lot of money. But
I think where I agree with a lot of Arsenal fans is when they question the targets we're after, not necessarily the timing. Like when we are linked heavier with Sesko instead of Gyokeres, when they're talking about Nico Williams or instead of getting other better targets. Even if Rodrigo's not available, I think Gittins is better than Nico Williams. So like I think the targets is probably what's scaring a lot of Arsenal fans. If we were like confirmed with Gyokeres and it's just taking time, I think less Arsenal fans would panic. I think the fact that a lot of Arsenal fans clearly can recognize that Gyokeres would be better for us now than Sesko is what's causing panic amongst fans. And it is the other set of fans who end up having what we call cognitive dissonance, right? Like they think, oh, you know what, actually, 6 months ago, if you ask them, they'll be like, yes, Gyokeres or Sesko any day. But now because they're seeing the situation of Sesko become more and more realistic, and they're starting to have to face that reality, they will start now convincing themselves that, you know what, actually, Sesko might make more sense. He's younger, longer-term project, could be Haaland type of striker, which is absolute BS. At 21 or 22, you know exactly what kind of striker he is. Now all of a sudden, I see Arsenal fans tweeting shit like, actually, I think he has the potential to be one of the best strikers in world football. How many times did you watch Sesko play? I've seen highlights. Like, it's just the most ridiculous thing. Because anyone who watches Bundesliga and watches this guy play, and I watch Bundesliga quite a lot, I'm telling you, this guy is incredibly, incredibly overhyped. Can he become good? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe later. But the fact that a club that is trying to, or I'm hoping, the aim is to try and win the league. And all our players are talking about it that way. Saliba came in today saying, next season, no excuses. It's win the league or bust. And the other players are saying the exact same shit. If that's the case, and that is actually the aim of the club, and Arteta is saying, talking big and all that crap, if that's the case, Sesko doesn't take you to where you need to go. If the aim is to just compete for top 4, we don't need Sesko. Our current players will easily get us top 4. Probably will help us challenge and then fall off towards the end. If you're saying you need to get over the line,
yeah, he's probably not.
Especially given that, yeah, exactly. Especially given the two teams we're competing against. A lot of people say like Arteta is the right manager for us, or this player is the right player because we've suffered like this last season and we have injuries and this and that, and I think we can do better next season. Bro, we could end with 92 points next season and still lose the league. You're not playing by yourself. You're not running a race on your own. There are two other teams that are massive in Liverpool and City. I know Liverpool have already made big signings. I think City will also have a very, very good window. It doesn't matter what you do. You cannot be better than what you were this season. You have to be better than them. If you finish on 95 points next season and Liverpool and City finish on 97, 98, you've done nothing. So you cannot go get someone like Sesko and say, well, he's better than what we have. Better than what we have is not good enough to beat the other two. We're not playing against, no offense to the other guys, we're not going against Chelsea and United for the league next season. You'll go against two teams that are mammoths. So it's just ridiculous.
I mean, it's harder to say that you have to be better than Liverpool and City, not knowing what Liverpool and City are going to be. Like, I think 95 points wins you the league. Like, there's no question about it for me.
Yeah. But I'm just giving an example because I think if Arsenal can get to 95, I think so can City and Liverpool, because Liverpool have made amazing moves this season. I think everyone has them as favorites to go back to back.
But that's the problem. And Liverpool are strengthening so much.
Exactly. They're strengthening from strength.
Chelsea are not like, Chelsea are like Sancho, not good enough. We're going Gittins, we're getting Estiva, we're targeting Gyokeres. You know what I mean? We're targeting.
And I think we can all agree that City's season this season is an anomaly. Now that Rodri is back this summer, if they get Reinders back, I know KDB is gone, and that's a big hit. I get it. But if Cherki works out, Rodri now being back, if they fix their defense, their team is scary. People think that, City this season finished third. Their team is not bad. If they get those 2-3 positions with Rodri coming back,
yeah, right back as well. I think and
100%, and they have the best manager in the world.
I don't know about the midfield though. I still think it's new. Like having two brand new midfielders coming, but it's Pep Guardiola. We know he's gonna find a way.
Yeah.
But I think the one that is so scary now that Liverpool don't even have a Club World Cup, and they are like Frimpong, Cherki.
I'm happy.
Wirtz.
Look,
like
Virgil van Dijk is at the Grand Prix at the weekend. He's chilling. He's chatting to the guys on the grid, unlike some other people. No, I'm joking. I don't want to say about Saka.
No, but you get my point.
I'm kidding. Saka, listen, I love Saka. Saka's a good guy. Listen, but I want my players to rest. I want my players to chill. I want them to relax.
Same.
Originally I wanted them to win all their last games. I wanted to finish on 92 points. But then I see these guys going over to Dubai halfway through in the middle of the week. I see them going chilling or wherever. I'm like, you know what? Let them have a break, man. They've done well this season. They surpassed most expectations.
Yeah, but Liverpool are moving crazy. City are moving. Chelsea are moving. While Arsenal, I don't care if they get their target like in July. It doesn't matter, right? As long as they get preseason. But I agree with Ashraf. The targets have changed. The targets have changed from the players that are ready today to win the league, apart from Zubamendi, to players that like, I've had Arsenal fans in my comment section saying, tell me, Mo, Arsenal do not plan only for next season. If Arteta even leaves and he doesn't win the league, the club stays. And I'm like, okay, fine. That's why Sesko's the right move, because he has potential. I'm like, but that's not what you're aiming for. Your project you should see the fruit of this project maximum by this season, this coming one. So even though Sesko might have the potential to be the best striker, I'm gonna go with your narrative. Sesko might become the best striker in the world. He'll become better than Haaland and Lewandowski. is he gonna be next season? Or next season you might get another manager that changed the whole way you play. How do you know that Saliba's gonna stay if you don't win the league next season, if Real Madrid come close?
Yeah.
How do you know that all the others will stay? How do you know that there are things that we have seen in football? If you next season will be 6.5 years at Arsenal. And while Liverpool might have a little bit of pressure to retain the title, they are making the right moves for them. While Man City might have a little bit of pressure to go back to the top, but I guarantee you, if City don't even win the title next season, what are the consequences? Nothing. Nada. If Man City comes second, it's okay. As long as they stay like within the top 4 and they go far in the Champions League, nobody's gonna complain. The Pep Guardiola, 2 seasons in a row, he didn't win the league. It's fine. Chelsea, if they get top 5, that is great. If Arsenal don't compete and don't challenge and win the league, I think that is like crazy for me. Like, I think that is the only club with a lot of pressure.
We say this every year. I'm not gonna lie. These conversations are getting boring at this point. We say this every year, bro. We say this every year. Like, we say this is the year they have to win something. If Arteta doesn't win something, it's time to go. They need to sign players that are ready to win now. And then we find ourselves in this situation again, where we're talking about Sesko, who now people are looking at, he's just potential. He's for the future. He has a higher ceiling than Gyokeres in a couple years, but they're gonna go for him instead of Gyokeres. I'm not gonna lie. I'm tired of these conversations. I don't know what is something has to give with this club no more. I'm generally tired of it. You know, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
I know. Can I answer him in one thing?
Many...
Can I answer him in one thing? If Staffy, that something gotta give, they go and sign the players that are already made now. They spend the money. They get the Gyokeres. They get the left winger that is ready.
They're clearly not going for Gyokeres for one reason or another. So what is the point of us sitting here pretending that if they don't win something again this year, Arteta's going? We said the same thing about Berta going in. Oh, but Berta now is going to be better than Edu, and he's going to have the final say. And Arteta's going to only coach. He's not going to have say on transfers. And then when the news came out that Berta and what's his name, Arteta are going at each other, and now it looks like Arteta is getting his way. So what is the point of us doing these conversations? Like, I genuinely don't get it, bro. Like,
the funny thing is,
this season, I think so. Yes, go ahead, Ashraf.
Now you guys know why Igal was depressed after the show.
The thing is,
I don't want to hear nothing from Igal.
He's gonna come back again with the same shit next season. Yeah, 100%.
Igal does not.
Honestly,
Igal doesn't have a
honestly,
say.
I've asked people who.
Igal enabled.
No, you know what Igal is? Igal قتل القتيل ومشى في جنازته. That's what you're telling me.
يا عمي, no.
What is it, Igal?
Do you think Igal has a say in the decision that Arsenal keep him or not?
No. When I say قتل القتيل, it's like, because Igal, this is what Igal wants. Igal wants the story. Igal likes the euphoria. Listen, if it was up to Igal, he'd meet.
Our captain came back.
Married, but let's pretend Igal was single. Igal would rather marry the girl that he met when he was 5 years old up until their 20s, and they built this Romeo and Juliet story. That's what he wants with Arteta. He wants a manager that comes in, builds everything. He wants someone basically to start the whole project and to finish the project. That's what Igal wants. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking like it's never gonna happen, bro. They're gonna be a good team next season, but he doesn't get to say. You don't get to say he's depressed after hearing this when he's been enabling this. Like, these have been the Arteta signings. Outside of Declan Rice, which, let's be honest, he wasn't even that accomplished when they bought him. Fair enough to him. They spent a lot of money on him, and he lived up to it. Other than that, these are the type of signings they make. Let's not pretend that they sit here and they go get these ready now players that might be leaving Madrid, might be leaving Barcelona, might leave in Bayern. They don't do that, bro. They're not doing that. They're gonna go for a year and for a Sesko. Now, what do we say next season? Now tell me, what's the conversation we're having? Tell me how you're gonna waste my time next season. Now, Mo, I want to know what we're gonna waste our time saying next season,
bro. I've had this argument with many Arsenal fans recently with AFTV Souls, and he was saying, we'll give him next season. Next season will be the last season. And I was like, okay, but why you give him next season? Yeah, because this season he had a lot of injuries. So next season, if he has the same number of injuries, what would you say then? No, it's over. Why? What's the logic behind saying this season is unacceptable, but next season, if he has the same number of injuries again, worse than everyone else in the league, that's the cutoff. Why is your cutoff later than? Because he's like, oh, but this is his first aggressive season. He couldn't anticipate these injuries, and now he should anticipate these injuries. But that's a stupid argument, because we ended last season on 89 points. You should have gone and strengthened the summer. No one is saying predict 27 injuries, but you knew we're lacking in a striker position. You knew that was a major hole. I understand why he had faith in Trossard and Martinelli. He thought Martinelli can come back. That's fine. But you trusted Havertz, and Havertz cost you big this season.
But Ashraf, in January, the reason why I think Arteta probably did want to strengthen the summer, and for whatever reason they couldn't get the signings over the line, is that in January, when he had all those injuries, I think his frustration was quite obvious. And up until the final few days, he was saying, we're trying in the market, we're looking in the market.
No,
now,
Rax, I'm sorry. Let me tell you why that's BS.
Across to me. That's
that is what he said. But let me tell you why that's BS. Because before Gabriel Jesus and Havertz got injured, he didn't speak about getting a striker once. He only spoke about it.
But you don't have to speak. You don't have to speak to want something, right? Because
but
a lot of people
Rax,
they try and keep things under wraps until a certain point.
But that's the thing, Rax. We all know how these clubs work. No club ever goes to a manager and says, "Who do you want tomorrow? Okay, let's go buy." It's always planned in advance. There is no one who can convince me out there that the board did not sit with Arteta and Edu at the time when he was sporting director and told them, this is our budget for the next 2 or 3 years, or even for the next 1 year. Forget the next 2-3 years. This is our budget for the next 1 year. This is how much we can spend. If we go get someone in January, we cannot get this player in the summer. And based on that, Arteta can make his decisions. The problem right now is Arteta has too much power. He shouldn't have it. And I agree the board shouldn't be giving that kind of power. But the fact is he does have that power. I was all for the signings of Calafiore and Moreno because we needed a midfielder, we needed a left back. But we needed a striker more than anything. If you as a manager knew there's restriction with the budget, and by the way, we got Calafiore and Moreno while we bid for Sesko. So it's not like we weren't going for someone else. But when Sesko said, no, you didn't have a plan B. If you knew as a manager, this is the budget the board has given me, because the board is not going to come and tell him, the board puts 3 restrictions on you as a manager. They will say, this is the max budget we're going to give you overall. This is the max we're willing to spend on a single player. And this is the max we're willing to spend on the wages of a single player. They will never, ever tell you, you're not allowed to use this money on another player. So, for example, when he bought Havertz for 65 million, they would not have come and told him, listen, this 65 million is only for Havertz and Havertz only. He decides on how he spends that money. So when he came to him this summer and they told him, this is your budget, he should have known, okay, I only have 80 million. Striker's a lot more important. I should have gone for that.
No, but but the board will have some say, because ultimately the Cronkies are paying the check. It's coming out of Arsenal's budget, yes, but the Cronkies are the ultimate shareholders, the ultimate people responsible for the business side of the company, of the club, right?
So Rax, it's been proven through journalists.
Just like what's been rumored, Michael Edwards flew to New York or Boston or wherever and had a sit down and explain to FSG, this is why we should spend 130. They will have a case. They will also have a maximum amount they will spend on a given player based on that player. So your 67 million on Kai Havertz, that doesn't mean that you could have gone and sized Calafiore for 67 million. There will be limits for each individual player as well. They're not going to be, because otherwise you say, okay, here's 180 million. Why don't you just go and blow it all in one shit player? The board aren't going to sit by and say, oh yeah, we'll see.
No, I agree. But I'm saying if they're giving it, I agree, but I'm saying, because the thing is, the way it works at Arsenal, it's different from Liverpool, where they have given him that kind of power. Because when they gave him 65 million, he could have used that money to get a proper striker. I'll give you an example. This was reported when we did not get Mudryk a couple of years ago when we were bidding for him, because we were favorites to get him at the time and he wanted to join us. And when Shakhtar asked for 95 million, how much ever the budget they asked for, there's an article, you guys can go read this. The Kroenkes approved paying that money. They said, fine, we will give it. It was Arteta and Edu that went to them and said, you know what, I don't think he's worth that money. Now, yes, in hindsight, it proved to be the correct decision. And in the end, they obviously didn't go for Mudryk, and that worked out. But my point is the fact that if the owners took all that decision, they would have said, sorry, you've wanted Mudryk, we're putting in the money by getting him. But the fact that they let Arteta come back and say, don't pay that kind of money, I don't think he's worth it, that means they have given him that kind of control. I don't think he should have that kind of control, but unfortunately he does. My hope was that this summer Bird is going to take over.
The owners have control over what they want to put the money into. Like, I think the decisions about the football should be left up to the manager and the directors. So
the sporting director, exactly.
Yeah, so like it's not up to the Cronkies to say, okay, well, yeah, we've already sanctioned 95 million, so that's where it's going. It's about them to say, it's about the directors to prove, yes, this is why I need the money. And then if they say that they don't need that player anymore, then yeah, the money's not there anymore. I don't think it comes down to the Cronkies making the decision for the director.
Nobody can convince me that Arteta didn't know Nobody can convince me that in January, Arteta thought there's 100 million available that the owners told him, don't worry, we'll give you that. And then they retracted their statement. They would have known before they went into January, hey, if we spend money in Jan, forget the money in the summer because we have to reduce it from there. That's the conversation that would have happened beforehand.
There's also a situation which caused a bit of an issue, right? Because when Jesus got injured, I'm pretty sure the plan would have been to sell Jesus this summer, right? Yeah. Jesus gets an ACL. Now you can't sell him this summer. The earliest you can probably sell him maybe is January. Almost more likely is going to be next summer. Yeah. Correct. So that has an impact as well. Maybe you get 30, 40 million for Jesus now, and you can potentially budget for that. When he goes down,
30, 40 million for Jesus.
You lose the potential. Yeah, it's difficult.
Potentially, I think if he comes back and scores a couple of goals this season, he will go for 20, 30 million. But
Can I
30 million?
No, he's not. It's 5 million.
If Jesus goes for 15 million, that's brilliant business. Bro said 30 million.
Thank God, 25, 26.
Rag, you think I'm joking? Wallahi, I mean it.
I know. It's the way you said it. It's the way you said it. There was a degree of comic timing in the way you said it. It was beautiful, man.
I think if he comes back mid-season and scores 3 or 4 goals, like in the second half, he probably goes for 30. Because people will forget that he's been in a decline. They will try to remember the Jesus that they think.
They remember his ACL. They remember he's just coming.
Probably. But I do think there are some teams. Look, he's not going to go back to Brazil.
Whoever you're going to have to take him on a night out, get him drunk, Arsenal, and then have him sign that contract.
No. Arsenal are
no
the worst
sellers. That shit.
But if Arsenal got that much money for Nketiah and Emile Smith-Rowe, and Man United were able to get 30 million euros, which is about 26 million pounds for McTominay, 100% Arsenal can get 30 to 40 million pounds for Gabriel Jesus. He's a Brazilian international. If he comes back from ACL, Arsenal will get.
Can you respect your league's MVP when you speak about him, please? Don't put him in conversations with Jesus.
That's
your league MVP.
Big up Patrick. I know that Patrick has to go.
Your league MVP, by the way, is a Carrington product. I want you to remember that every day you wake up.
He's a very good player that your club ruined him. We're not going there now, to be honest. There's not much time.
That's fine. I don't disagree with you. I just want you to remember that every day. I want you every day to wake up and remember Serie A MVP is from Manchester United. That's all.
Did I remove him from the channel?
Bring me back. Look at this dictatorship.
I thought Patrick is leaving. I thought that
Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un.
Anyway, let me do this because listen, I really we don't have a lot of time. Thank God. You did this the second time. Thank God. 25-26 is Arteta's last season.
He's so adamant. He sent it twice.
Yeah, he's so adamant that this is Arteta's last season, which is crazy. Can an oil Saudi billionaire come and save Arsenal? Hopefully. Can he come and save Inter as well? Can we come and save him? Manyan to Chelsea, the experience you wanted more. I said that, but I'm with you. I said that Chelsea sign experience. I said Chelsea went and got Neto.
Listen, I can say that. I can say this as a black man, but I can't remember the last good black goalkeeper I've seen. I hope Mike Mania changes that because I do like him. But every black goalkeeper,
Mike Mania is a very good. Mike Mania is a very good goalkeeper.
I've watched him. I know he's very good, but I'm just saying, huh?
In his pomp, he was top 3 in the world, easy.
In the world?
Oh yeah.
No.
In his pomp. Absolutely.
No, I think top 3 have always been Stegen, Courtois, and
Alisson. He backstopped France to the World Cup as well. He's a quality keeper.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, but Lloris was their keeper in the World Cup.
Mandanda was not bad at all. Mandanda was not the worst goalkeeper.
He wasn't great. What do you want about the Marseille guy?
No, but he wasn't awful. Mandanda was not.
He couldn't replace Hugo Lloris, who was on his dying legs. For God's sake, he wasn't a good keeper. Mendy, I thought, was gonna be that keeper, and he started off amazing and all that stuff. And then somehow he declined.
There are many. Carlos Camini. You remember?
I remember.
He was play Côte d'Ivoire, I think, right?
Côte d'Ivoire, yeah.
Dida was a very good goalkeeper as well.
Oh, but Dida's remembered. Dida's always going to be remembered for diving against Celtic when that fan ran on and tapped him on the shoulder. He chased after him and then fell over and then tried to get the match postponed or something like that. It was too funny, man.
There are many good goalkeepers, to be honest, but I get your point. But you're now bro, Mike Maignan is top. If they get Mike Maignan, he is amazing. He's a very good goalkeeper. I think it changes the. And by the way, getting
You still
for
need
30
center backs
million-
because center backs is an issue.
They
honestly.
are
Yeah,
trying to get
I
center
would
backs.
say that the goalkeeper is more pressing than the center backs. To be honest, you just need.
Yeah, for sure.
You need a
But
leader
your
back
center
there.
backs also
And
give a
I
lot
actually,
of space.
I
man.
actually,
Oh,
I
no
actually
doubt.
disagree. I think a top center back will change your fortune, even if you don't sign a goalkeeper.
I don't
Couch,
know about that.
Couch, you realize,
I don't
you
know.
realize
I don't know
Ash
if a team- I don't know if a team
Petrovic
that
is
wins the
coming
title
back.
without a top
Because
keeper.
because Petrovic is coming back.
it's not even about
What am I
Petrovic. You
like
realize
that?
even with a shitty keeper like Robert Sanchez, right? A Spanish guy named Robert. You would have thought it's Roberto. But
He's
anyways,
actually half
even with
Jamaican,
too. Fair. But even with a shit keeper like Sanchez, I think at around maybe Jan or Feb, I saw the stat where he faced maybe the second or third most shots, and he had the second or highest save percentage. The reality is your team was letting a lot of shots on target. Now, yes, he blundered a bunch of them, but the point is a team like Chelsea shouldn't be conceding these many shots. That is from the
style
center
of
backs. It's
play.
not from Caicedo.
It's the style of play more so than the actual defensive work. Like I think that
Yeah, but your style of play would let you concede the third or fourth most shots. That's crazy, no?
Yeah, the style of play is to be playing out from the back, progressing the ball from the back, and when you make mistakes back there, yeah, it leads to shots on goal. But for me, I don't think that Sanchez was a massive this is a massive upgrade. Let's just leave it there and put it out there. This is a massive upgrade from where Sanchez is to where Maignan is. So let's leave that there. If you have a strong keeper in net, you have the foundations to build from the back. Like if you do not have a strong keeper in the back, you don't have the foundations to build. If you notice the last 6, 7, 8 games that Chelsea have played, they've basically been hoofing it long and not keeping possession just because they don't trust the keeper. So everything that Maresca wants to do as a manager right now starts with a goalkeeper that is capable of, number one, playing with his feet, distribution, which is all things that Maignan is very, very strong at. So I'm very confident that this is the building block that we need to take us to the next level. You know, you start there, and then of course, while we don't necessarily have the center backs that I want to see, like I agree, I'm not 100% enamored with, you know, Tosin, you know, obviously Fofana, if he stays healthy, is a different story altogether. Not 100 with Colwell either, but when you have a keeper that you can trust back there and you can relieve pressure, you can pass it to him and he relieves the pressure, you have the building blocks for something there. It's just with Sanchez, you couldn't build anything at all. And
I just hope he doesn't turn out like, I was about to say, I hope he doesn't turn out like Onana, because Onana had a bigger reputation when he came from Inter.
What did Onana do before Ajax? Like
he was fantastic at Inter though. He and by the way, that season they used to call him the best ball-playing keeper in the world.
He was,
to be honest.
I'm telling you, Wallah al-Azim, bro, the guy in the beginning of his career at Inter, when he joined, he made mistakes. But then later in the season, bro, we had 8 clean sheets. He was the foundation. I'm telling you, teams would press us, bro. And this guy would ping a pass between like 5 players.
Yeah, always.
We beat the press with one pass between like the lines, right on the money to the player that is there. And I'm like, okay. And then he goes to Man United. Bro can't even punt the ball, like just like normal punt. Like I'm not even asking him to pass it to somebody. He would literally like kick the ball and go to a throw in. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? How did you just move from being able to pass the ball between the lines on the ground to really just not able to punt the ball? Like, there must be like a virus at Old Trafford or something. Like, I don't know. But we all know. No,
they're going to tear that
is,
bitch down and they're going to start a new stadium.
No, but the reality is, I think we saw that with Ederson. Confidence is a massive factor in how you pass the ball and play from the back. We saw Ederson this season mess up some passes and being dropped because the confidence is not there. I think that happened to Maignan as well. I think that happened, to Onana as well. I think the confidence, like he started, by the way, I remember he was doing these passes and then one game at a time, these passes disappear, bro. Like one game after the other.
No more, Mo. His footwork used to be a lot better. Like he used to have these, I don't call them long passes. They're like kind of mid-range passes where He just precisely picks out a player
Yes.
in the middle of the park. He doesn't just go long like goalkeepers do. He used to pick out like precisely which players he wants. And I'm not, he doesn't do that no more. Like if he doesn't just pass it around in his third, he just launches it forward. The only difference between him and
he never did this at
he just
Inter.
knows how
He
to
never
kick
did
it
this.
forward. He would kick it outside the pitch.
Yeah,
That's the
but
difference.
he never did this at Inter. Never. Or
Yeah,
Ajax. Never at Inter or Ajax he did this.
Horrible signing,
He
bro.
always picked the pass. It was a horrific signing. But anyway, it didn't benefit us because we didn't win the league. Like we won the league last season, of course, obviously, but we lost 5-0.
You know, I almost crashed out when I found out the 1 year he didn't win the league was the year Onana was there. Wallahi, bro, I almost lost it. I didn't even believe that. I felt so betrayed when I found that out.
Yeah,
I didn't
they
even know
finished
that.
5th that season. Yeah.
Oh,
But I
really?
remember sitting there. I was like, you know what? At least he won a Serie A with Inter. And so I was like, no, he didn't.
They didn't.
I was like, what do you mean they won it? And then I see Inter.
No,
Onana,
we won. We won.
Oh no.
We actually won, and then he joined, and then we lost, and then
He left and then he won. You took a gap year with Onana, bro.
2 years. 2 years. We took a gap 2 years. Man. To be honest,
No, you won the
Let
first
me-
year
take
after
him
he
back.
left. Because you won last year.
Take him back.
Yeah.
Can you take
Yeah,
him
we
back?
won.
Won
the-
last year.
I
No,
wouldn't
you take
take
him
him back. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, Sommer is a fantastic keeper.
No, but not
You know
only
we were
Summer.
linked with Summer for 5
To
million.
be honest with you, goalkeepers, I think, like, to be honest with you, people ask me, would you take Højlund on a free? And I'm like, I would give him a shot as a third striker, free loan. I'll pay 45K. What's 45K? Basically 3 million euros a year for a third striker. Come in, like a risk-free signing. Like, there is a difference when Arsenal signed Sterling because basically Arsenal needed a winger for backup for Saka. Like, they needed that guy. Like us having Højlund, who actually played in Serie A and scored already 9 goals in 18 games in Atalanta, right? I would take that player. People are like, oh, but he's the worst striker in the world. Yeah,
He
that's
might be,
fine.
and he'll be ahead of Taremi.
Yeah.
He'll probably do as good as bad as Taremi.
I actually think that Chelsea made a big mistake not signing Sancho as a squad player. But maybe Chelsea don't
No, they
need a
didn't
squad
because of the,
player.
because of
not
the
for the- not
fees,
for
bro.
the-
If they
Hold
were
on,
paying
hold on, hold on, hold on,
200K,
Let me just finish. But the problem is he wanted money, right? He wanted a lot of money.
So it's his
Højlund coming
fault.
to Inter as a Højlund coming to Inter, the third or fourth striker, free loan with an option to buy. That means there is no pressure. Like, who cares? It's a good signing. Basically, Inter is a win-win. It's a freaking win-win thing for us. Like, we're never gonna lose. If he's shit and he like, for example, you're telling me that if he plays in the cup or in some of the shit games, in like minute 60, you bring him on, he's bad. It's a good signing. He played in Serie A before for free. Man United are like, oh, you're taking our worst striker. No, we're basically taking him as our third striker to try him a little bit for free, and then we're giving him back if it doesn't work. Basically, that's what we're doing, right? We're not paying any penny for it. And I would take him, to be honest with you. Like, for me, like, I don't think, like, we're going to sign, because people think that Inter are going to go sign Gyokeres for them. No, we're not going to fucking sign Gyokeres. We're going to sign a player for fucking Serie B to come and be the third or fourth striker. We're going to sign a player that no one heard of before. Like, we fucking signed Arnautovic to be the third striker. Bro, we signed Arnautovic to be the third striker. But anyway, that is just different. Why is no one else going after Victor Gyokeres? No one. No, Chelsea are.
He means Victor Gyokeres and Osimhen because he said GNO.
Oh, Giano, yeah.
No, there
Milan
are.
want Victor O. And they're probably going to give him a lot of money now that Bruno doesn't want to go. My bet now that he's going to go to El Hilal.
What a waste.
Victor Gyokeres, though.
What'd
you say?
Just open, man. I don't know.
I said what a waste of a career because
About-
2 years ago he was considered one of the best strikers in the world, and now because
he
of the
won
fight he had
so
with
much
Napoli.
money. He won so much money. And he
Habibi,
thinks
if he didn't have a fight with De Laurentiis and all, he would have stayed at Napoli. That issue and that racist thing that came
No.
out a year ago changed his
Conte
mind.
said, no, he said, I want to leave. And Conte came and said, I want Lukaku. And basically, I don't want you. And Conte was right. He won the league with Lukaku.
He would have won the league
He
with
won the-
Osimhen as well. He would have the
He
won the league
wanted,
with
but listen, Conte and Lukaku is the magic thing. You just bring Conte and Lukaku, the fucking shit happens. Broski, like that.
He almost got him in
shit
Chelsea, got him
happened
in
and
Inter,
it
got him in
Bro,
Napoli.
like the fucking, it works, bro. He didn't get him at Chelsea. That's why he was.
didn't get him at
No, he
Chelsea.
You know
almost
what
did. That's what I'm
happened?
saying.
You know what happened? Do you know why he left? Because Chelsea didn't give him Lukaku and he joined Man United and he got upset.
Yeah, when they got
hugging.
Morata, I remember.
You see them hugging at the end of when they won Serie A. They were hugging on the pitch. They were like, it was like father and son, man. That shit is real.
This thing is weird, bro. This thing is weird. It's not. It's weird. It's weird.
But on
There's
these
a lot of
strikers,
managers
I
like
don't
that have their favorite players. They move them on in so many clubs that they go to. I've seen that happen a lot.
Yeah,
There's a lot of sports.
Mourinho bought Carvalho and Ferreira to Chelsea.
Yeah,
but
together at Porto.
He brought
They
Matic
went
And then he
to-
took Carvalho to Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
he bought
Yeah.
Matic, and then when he came back to Chelsea, he
Let
bought
me.
Matic. Then when he went to United, he bought Matic there.
it's the players
Yeah.
you trust, man. It's the players you trust. Like,
Yeah.
Conte, how many times has he been linked with like Kandreva and like Vidal and all these? Like he likes the players that he knows he can trust, right?
He took Essien with him to Real Madrid just to play him as a right back.
It's clear, right?
Let me do this so we can get out of here. Ashraf, please stop waffling. We concede the third fewest goals in the league. The defensive point from you is air. A mic. Okay, I don't. What?
I don't
From
get that last.
from you
it's
is air a
Mike
mic
Maignan.
is
It's
transfer. Yeah, is there Mike Maignan is a transfer?
Yeah, look, you're flaunting having the third most goals in a season where outside Arsenal, every other team conceded 40 plus goals. It's not been a good defensive season for most teams. The best defense in the league last season had 26, 27 goals conceded. This season, it's 35. And you're only like 2 goals more than like teams like Forest. You're 1 goal less than a team like City. Defense has not been good for every team in the Premier League this season, I would say. Maybe Liverpool, you don't count them as much because they kind of relaxed towards the end. But you cannot be bragging about being the third best defense at 44 goals or 43 goals conceded. It's not a good number.
What's the future of Inter? Fabregas, and it's gonna be great next season. It's gonna be phenomenal. We're gonna go back to 4-3-3.
Welcome to poverty.
Bro, do you know how we have a? Do you know it's the first time? Do you know that our revenue is close to Premier League clubs' revenue? Do you know we broke the 500 million revenue, right? For the first time ever from the Champions League, and we're gonna eat 500 million euros plus. 500 million euros plus, and that would be the first time, right? Right, for a broke club, that is a lot of fucking money in Serie A, and we're gonna add
You're not even
100
broke,
for
bro.
Club World Cup.
You're not even broke.
And the
It's just
motherfuckers, and the
it's the fact that
motherfuckers
you
are not
can't
gonna put
spend
any
too
money.
much because of your ownership, your Chinese ownership. That's really it.
Not Chinese now.
Yeah.
Okay, Rax, you know what happened, right? Can you explain it in a financial terms? Basically, they
Wait,
couldn't pay the loan.
you're over 500,000 now? Because at the start of the year you were at 391.
Yeah, because of the
You were
Champions League, we made
14.
130. Okay, Rack, can you explain what's the term when a company couldn't pay the creditors, so the creditors just took over?
Collateral?
When you're insolvent.
Collateral.
No.
Oh,
No, it's
I mean,
not
but-
insolvent, no.
The Oak Tree loaned Inter, the Chinese, 300 million with interest of 25 a year.
Was that
25%.
Sunning? Sunning
That
was
is
the-
Sunning,
collateral, no?
yeah.
Right?
Oh.
And then it's supposed
Inter-
to be
Inter-
paid
Inter-
by the
Inter
end
is
of
the collateral.
2024. It was supposed to be, yes, Inter were the collateral, but there is a process for this. Yes,
It's
and Inter,
insolvency.
they couldn't pay the loan, guys, and basically Inter just went to the creditor, and we just
It's
within one
insolvency.
night, it's a win from the Chinese, and they couldn't even sell the club because the loan had, I think, something in it that they can't sell the club.
Oh.
They must pay the loan.
Yeah, that's what happened. It's
Only
called
Oak
insolvency.
Tree
It's
is
when you can't pay
allowed
back your debt.
Yeah, only I think Oak Tree, the people that loan the money are allowed to sell the club, something like this. But anyway, thank you everyone. We kept you for long. I know Ashraf is too late for you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Couch Critic, for joining us. Rax,
What is he too late
fantastic.
for? What is he gonna do?
Fantastic.
What
He's
are
gonna
you
win.
Yeah,
gonna do?
Habibi, it's 12:50 and I have to wake up early for work tomorrow morning. It's 12:50 a.m. here.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
look
are
at
a
me, I
mudir,
gotta
you
work.
are a manager, you don't have to go early. It's fine. We all know that you're a
No, no,
manager
no.
and you don't have to
You're
go
a manager,
early. We
you're
all know
complaining.
that.
Wallah, if I was a manager, I'd make up my own schedule.
Bro, he's a manager. He manages a whole thing and he's like complaining about waking up early. Big up everybody that joined us. This will take you to Osam where he has the
Ian.
panel talking about it. I will see you guys tomorrow on a transfer show on Straight Facts. We're out of here, people. Overstay.